Hi, welcome to my 24 question segment. Hi, Ross. I'll ask you 24 questions, 2 choices per question. Pili ka lang sa any of the choices and no explanations needed.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan.
Take out or dine in?
Dining.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Rubber shoes or leather shoes?
Rubber shoes.
Meat or seafoods?
Seafood.
Love story or comedy?
Love story.
Fried or grilled?
Grill.
Beach or swimming pool?
Beach.
Talent or attitude?
Attitude.
Short pants or long pants?
Long pants.
Nighttime or daytime?
Nighttime.
Chinese dish or Japanese dish?
Japanese dish.
Beer or hard drinks?
Beer.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Collegiate ball or pro ball?
Collegiate ball.
MVP or championship ring?
Championship ring.
Singing or dancing?
Dancing.
Sample. Hindi. SUV or sedan?
SUV.
Watching TV or reading books?
Reading books.
5-on-5 or 3x3?
5-on-5.
3 points or layup?
Layup.
Last question, coach or player?
Player.
There you have
Player.
it, 24 questions with Ross. Thank you, Ross.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Magandang gabi mga kalaro and welcome to another episode of your weekly tambayan with the Sportitos, Laro-Laro lang. Ang show kung saan nagsasama ang apat na magkakaibigan para pag-usapan ang iba't ibang aspect of sports. I'm Chief Bistak Joel Parcon and with us as usual is the daddy dribbling all the way in Canada, Mr. Excited Gary Villanueva.
Good morning, eh?
And dito rin ang Contra Commander, si Coach Miron, Noy Africa.
Good evening.
And of course, hindi magpapahuli ang master ng pasabog, si Mr. Pasabog, Farley, Romantico Aguila.
Gandang gabi.
Parang patamlay yung greeting mo. Anyway, this week, mga kalaro,
Ang hirap ng huli.
we have with us a guest who has been working in the background of our favorite basketball league, ang PBA. She was a dominating presence for the University of Asia and the Pacific women's basketball team, playing center for the team, which she led to the 2009 WNCAA Championship Trophy. She was also a 3-time Mythical 5 awardee in the WNCAA, recognized as the best center of the tournament. She later on coached the team to the Final Four appearance at the 14th WCSA tournament. She was also part of the ever Bilena Gandang Pinay team that won the lone season of the revival of the Women's Philippine Basketball League back in 2008. Currently, she is the manager for operations and business development in the PBA, working behind the scenes for the PBA D-League, Batang PBA, 3-on-3 men's and 3-on-3 women's basketball. And she also hosted her own show on PBA Rush back in 2017 called The PBA Rulebook, where she explained the rules governing the league. Mga kalaro, mga sportito, let's all welcome Rosc Teotico. Good evening, Rosc, and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Sportitos.
Wow.
Wow.
Ano naman yun?
Ang haba nung accolades. Oh.
So anyway, Ross, kamusta?
Grabe.
How have you been doing during this MECQ? At lalo na ngayong medyo sobrang umiinit na dito sa Pilipinas.
Been doing well. Syempre, extra precautions always in place wherever we go if needed. Syempre, essentials lang muna. And we're also trying to keep things rolling again, especially with the latest announcement recently for bringing back the PBA, hopefully. And teams are also preparing again. So that's what we're working on lately. Yun, sana matuloy. Sana matuloy na.
Sana nga.
So, sana nga.
Nice.
It's good to hear na you're doing well and hopefully nga, ma-downgrade palalo yung classification natin dito sa Metro Manila to GCQ para mas mapapabilis ang pagsimula ulit ng ating paboritong local sports league, no? Speaking of pagsimula, now we now start off with our segment called Sportito, where we talk about our special guest. Parang hindi pa tamang tawagin siyang sportita, no? Kasi nga ang bata pa niya and her journey through sports. Pero kami mga
Sports
sportito na kami. Yun, pwede. Sports pamangkin. Yun. And as always, magsisimula tayo sa simula. So the first question which we ask all of our guests is, paano ka nag-start sa sports? How did this whole thing with basketball start out for you?
It's a funny story actually. I started out because I was into karate at the time in grade school. And then we were doing an exhibition. The coach then in grade school was apparently watching. And then I guess she saw from afar, from the stage. Parang she came up to me after the exhibition and she asked kung pwede daw ba mag-try out or kung gusto ko mag-try out if I was interested. And I was, at that time, I didn't know basketball or I didn't know how to play basketball. So, siyempre, sabi ko sa kanya, paano ako maglalaro? And noong time na yun, siyempre, grade school, wala akong kasama or paano ako pupunta? Things like that. But my friends were also very encouraging. Sabi nila, sige, let's try it out. We were grade 7 at the time. So we tried out something new together. And that was where it really started. Even if I had no clue about how basketball was really played. It developed later on through high school when I joined the summer camps, doing the basic training, and then I continued playing high school varsity. And then when I realized in high school varsity that, it's something I'm starting to get to learn to love. It's something I can't imagine if I was not doing basketball, even if I was studying at the same time. And then when college came, sabi ko, syempre, college na, seryosohan na, or I wanted to focus more on my academics already. That transition happened with me. But when I was a freshman in UANP, it was actually my mom who encouraged me to continue playing. She said, why not continue, give it still a shot, and if you think you can't push through with it anymore, then take a look, take a step back, reevaluate, sige. But yun pala yung my grade school coach then was Coach Julie Amos. She's currently the women's assistant for the Gilas Pilipinas. And then si Coach Edwin Barber was my high school coach then. Kasama ko dun his assistant then was Coach Eman Papa, who was previously PT for Magnolia naman.
Yeah, Magnolia.
So parang ang daming, when I realized it now that I'm in the PBA, there are so many things that have happened in my younger years in basketball that are starting to come back. Like, there's really, it's like a circle talaga. Parang you go back to the beginning at some point in time. And ako am usually awed by that fact na parang if this didn't happen before, it's like talagang parang stepping stone lang siya na there are certain things that were meant to have happened before so that you could realize that they were meant to happen for you when you are in your current position or when you are in your current place in life, parang ganun. So that was high school, and then college was when I met Joel.
Saan ka nag-high school? What
high
high school did you attend? The grade school, high school, yeah.
Grade school and high school, I went to Poveda.
Pwede.
Yun.
Mm,
So,
okay.
Were you tall in when you were in grade 7?
Yeah, that's it, guy. What were you
Baka
tall
kaya ka
already?
na ni
Kaya ka
Julie.
napansin? Kasi di ba, sorry unusual Nagkakarate ka, makikita na coach, uy, alika basketball ka. Parang layo di ba?
yes, diba?
Yung skill ang layo, sumisipa, sinusuntok
Oo.
ka, and then the next day, coach will tell you, halika mag-dribble ka ng bola. So were you
Oo.
tall? Yung gusto naman ni Coach Noy, matangkad ka na ba nun?
I considerably, I think yes. Usually at the back of the line, if that's going to be my basis. Pero grade 7, parang 5'5" yata. Siguro mga 5'5".
Oo, matangkad na nga yun.
For grade 7, matangkad na yun.
Matangkad
now
na
that
grade
makes
7,
sense.
mga what? 12 years old? 13 years old?
Yeah.
Matangkad na
Correct.
yun.
12, 13, yeah. ganyan.
Hanggang ka pa sa akin ng grade 7 ka.
Ayun.
Talagang pinasok mo no?
Yeah.
And then nung high school, did you shoot up in terms of height or whatever?
Yes, I continued shooting up, pero not as tall as the current players now who are women standing like almost 6 feet, yung ganyan. Wala, nag-stop na ako ng mga 5'7". So yun na rin yung height ko ngayon. It didn't anymore push through further than that, which is okay, fine with me, no problem. And then high school was also, of course, one of the first times that I really experienced yung competitive basketball also. But at the same time, you're still learning the ropes, developmental in a sense na, or trying to become organized basketball. And why you should be doing certain things, being asked by the coach, and why can't I do certain things that I think that might be okay with me, yung mga ganon. So there's a sense of being restricted to what you should be doing as a player versus what you think you can do as a player. But syempre, eye-opener lahat ng steps into my journey, I think, of basketball.
Yeah.
And I always took it with parang learning experience. There's nothing that I think I could have learned or done during that journey that I didn't come out saying, oh nga no, parang okay, I realized that's the reason why things were being done that way. Even if at first, of course, we usually ask, but why? And then later on, I think, oh, but why not? Why not do the things that they were being asked of me to do? Parang yun.
Medyo cryptic yung mga sinasabi mo. Parang may gusto kang i-explain. Is there something about a tall player wanting to play like a guard or something? Not really.
Oo nga parang, or were you just curious?
Well, yes, I was curious for one thing. And on the hindsight, tama yung sinabi ni Coach Noy na syempre as a center then, you'd be doing or rebound ka lang, or pass the ball out, or
okay.
Ito lang yung pwede mong gawin. Pero pag malapit ka sa ring, sige, tira mo na. Pero dun ka lang yung mga ganon. So, sabi ko, paano ko matututo mag-shoot from, let's say, the elbow,
Dito
or
lang, okay.
kakayanin ko ba mag-shoot sa 3-point area? Wow, feeling mo guard ka, parang ganon. Those were the times na I was looking up also to, well, in the NBA, si Dirk, because he's very versatile also. So parang feeling ko naman kaya ko maging Dirk. Wow. Pero one of my idols naman din kasi. But I was thinking, maybe if it was possible for players like centers or forwards to be able to shoot or to do what guards could do, then you could have more arsenal as a player, diba? And you could be more valuable as a player in terms of being able to be a shooter or be more offensive and then become defensive. So, kumbaga parang building up yourself as a package and not just putting yourself in a box na I'm just this kind of player and this is all I could do. When in fact, you're trying to build up yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and actually, Coach Noy would know this, di ba? Noy, ganyan talaga, I think, old school. Hindi naman old school, pero I think the time talaga pag old school, if you're tall,
Yeah,
sentro
roles.
ka.
Talaga
Pag
nakaano
maliit
siya,
ka,
nakaano yung
guard
roles.
ka. Ganun na kagad dyan, di ba? Matuto ka lang ganito. Tita, yung mga linya na, tumayo ka lang dyan, pag bako mo, taas mo lang kamay mo. Di ba? Puro ganun ang tuturo sa'yo, di ba?
Correct.
Huwag ka mag-dribble.
Ganun lang talaga growing. Ganun ka mag-dribble, huwag ka masyado mag-dribble, maaagaw na malilit na bata. I think those are all things that basically, as we're starting out, would probably be, but since mukhang your mind is already, I want to do so much things na
Advance
talaga.
mag-isip si
Advance
Ross,
yung utak eh. Yung ganun.
Yung iniisip niyang
Dapat
role ng
point.
sentro, yung ginagawa na ngayon sa NBA, mga Nikola Jokic, mga
Tira
ganun.
mo ngayon, lahat ng ginagawa ng central, 3-point shot na, mga
Yeah.
ganun. Aside from Dirk, who would you say parang pinattern mo yung game or wanted to play like him or even female basketball player that you liked or somebody or something?
Well, honestly, female basketball player then that I'm not even sure to say. Candice Parker ba?
Candice
Yeah,
Parker.
Yes.
Sparker, yeah.
Yeah.
Sparks.
Or Lisa
Leslie.
Leslie?
Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie,
Yes.
yes.
Them. Although I was more exposed to NBA already during high school and college. But during high school was another story where, because we're an all-girls school, we would also always be watching either UAAP or the NCAA on TV and feeling like we were part of one of the schools playing, cheering on, oy, team ganito ako, team ganyan ako, kahit di naman kami taga, but only by affiliation because of either our parents or our dad or the titos and cousins. Yeah.
Nice.
But that was also a good time, I think, that I got more exposure into the game because syempre college basketball na is more organized, but at the same time watching the college guys playing, you also see another side into how I would have wanted the team, kumbaga, to bring ourselves together, like, oy, let's go, we can probably win. We can probably win even if we're at the losing end of the stick or even if we're super underdogs. It was, I think, the narrative of being able to try to learn from them na walang hindi natin kakayanin basta magkakasama tayong gawin to, parang ganon. So, para win or lose, you don't have to feel you don't have to feel as defeated as if you didn't try dying, something like that. And then when college basketball came, my upper class women, the upper class women in the team, were also very experienced already in playing the sport. But syempre, kasi college basketball, they also had their own background elsewhere. And then we all just met in the college court, parang ganon. But there's also a big percentage of women basketball players who later on get into basketball during university who have not learned how to play even in their high school years, or they didn't really have the basic background as if you started when you were grade school. So yes, there were a lot of challenges, but like I said, there's nothing we did, even if in the games, kahit talo, sige, okay lang. Andun pa rin kasi yung feeling na as long as we did this together, I still feel like we've won. But of course, you would want to win.
You'd rather win.
Of course, you want to win.
You'd rather win on the court.
Nakakasawa
Yeah.
yung moral victory palagi, di ba?
Oo.
Palagi na moral victory na naman. Medyo nakakasawa
Ito,
din.
may ano lang ako, ewan ko kung tama yung narinig. Tama ba yung narinig ko na out of high school, you were actually being recruited by UP?
Yes. I joined,
Wow.
I was invited to join the UP camp. I was third year high school at the time. So just in between the transition of third year to fourth year, between that summer. There I go again. Another story from that time. During that tryout, UP was already very loaded in terms of players, very deep bench, ganon. So parang, of course, I was thinking, how will I fit in being a player for them if I was taken in? Or like, oh sige, you made the cutout, parang ganun. What am I going to be able to contribute to such a team that has a deep bench in the first place? Number 2 was, of course, there was culture change. I was thinking of, am I going to pursue UP if, let's say, I do get into the cut and be able to take the course that I wanted to take? And third was the coincidence. I don't know if you call it coincidence, but like I said earlier, diba, parang circle, the journey you take takes you back into the loop. And during that time, the head coach was Coach Eric Castro, who is now the deputy commissioner in the PBA.
Oh,
So when I got into the PBA, we meet again. Parang talagang ginajoke ko nga siya minsan, sabi ko, "Uy, coach, alam mo ba nung nag-try out ako noong time na yon for UP?" I think that was 2005. So 2005, and then when I got to playing women's 3-on-3 for PBA, that was 2016. Sabi ko, 11 years na yon. Naisip mo ba? 11 years na yon. Sabi niya, ayun na naman eh, pinapatanda mo na naman ako. Sabi ko, no naman. I'm just asking you if you remember that time, because of course for me, I wasn't really exactly the player in high school who had such, alam mo yun, parang, oh, in college I want to play, or I want to continue talagang playing, get into the UAAP or play in the UAAP, ganyan, talagang career dreams, basketball parang ganun. But I think parang things kind of fell into place. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if sometimes talaga bang, Lord, sige, ikaw na lahat. Or I'd like to think also sometimes parang because of the journey nga, if those little pieces and if those people you've met along the way maybe did something for the universe to conspire, parang ganon, to get you to where you're at. Thus, ayun, nung college nga, when Coach Joel was first coaching in UANP, syempre nagsishare din siya ng insight na UANP basketball, the basketball program then was also strong, but we were also in a way sort of struggling a little bit. Like, yun nga, diba, sabi Sir Gary, hindi naman pwede puro moral victory lang. Parang kailangan naman at some point, may masabi naman tayo.
Manalo talaga kayo.
Nanalo naman talaga kami. Ganun. Or, uy, may 1-0 na yung standing namin, or we could put something on the win board.
Ganyan. Yeah.
And then it came later in my college years already when that started. But it's not to say that even in my first 2 years of college na hindi ko masasabi na parang I couldn't appreciate what I've gone through then, kasi all of those losses, syempre all of those hardships, all helped build up to the time when I could consider my last 2 years of college, 3rd and 4th year, to be talagang glory years, parang ganon. Which was also for me unexpected. And oftentimes I find myself overwhelmed by the things that have happened. Kasi parang yun nga, how did the universe end up conspiring, doing these things for us, for the team, parang ganon. So, and then third year came, like I said earlier, the circle in the journey. Si Coach Julie, who was my first coach in grade school.
Who spotted you from the stage? On the stage?
Yeah, doing karate.
Karate.
Diba?
Magaling na scout yun.
Had come to UANP in my 3rd year to coach us again.
Did you
So sabi-
did you ask her, or was it something that surprised you as well? Sinabihan niya na lang, uy, magko-coach na ako sa UANP, or was it something na did you reach out to her?
Well, yes, there was a point of reach out to her because at the time the coaching position for the women's basketball team was open, and my seniors were asking, oh, maybe you guys know a coach who you can ask, who you can talk, call. Maybe they're interested to take the head coaching position in UANP, and she was one of them who I reached out to. Included na doon si Coach Eman, if he was available, ganyan. And then surprisingly nga, si Coach Julie said, "Oh, Ross, yeah, I'm available. I'm interested. I want to look into it." Ganyan. So when she said that, I informed our captains at the time. Then they told the head of sports na, ayun, si Coach Julie gusto mag-coach sa UANP. At that time, she was handling UST women's also. And then she was also coaching grade school Poveda pa rin. And then, so we were thinking, kasya kaya tayo sa schedule ni Coach Julie? Parang, sana, syempre, I was hoping it will work out at the least. At the time, UANP only had one court, the cemented, most loved multi-purpose court.
Yung elementary courts ninyo sa Ateneo, yun ang lone court namin sa UNP. Isa lang ang basketball court namin for all the sports, for all the sports.
Yes.
So sinishare pa nila yun with the volleyball team, with the futsal team, with the
Is that the one? Sorry, is that the one parang katabi yung kanal o banyo? Parang ganon? Pag masama yung ihip ng hangin, medyo maamoy. Kasi may sun, di ba? You go to UNP. Creek, sorry.
Yes.
Naman.
Tama.
Oh, then nagpo-foosball. What do you call that thing na may stick?
Futsal?
Ball? No. Parang hockey na field hockey ba? Hindi, may parang tawag ka eh.
Floorball.
Floorball. Yung floorball
Yes.
yung son ko eh. And then I remember once, lumabas natin sila because humihip yung hangin. Like, what the heck is that?
Baka yung kasi katabi niya yung parang yung tambakan ng basura.
I think something like that. Anyway.
Tapos siguro binuksan, umihip yung hangin.
Bathtub area.
Yes. Yun. Ganun ka-advanced ang sports program namin noon.
But it still worked out.
Yeah.
A lot of it worked out.
Anong nickname ng team nyo, Chief? Dragons? Kama?
We're the Dragons.
Jeez.
The UANP Dragons.
Diba? UANP
Pero
Dragons.
before that, we were the UANP Marlins. Di alam ni Ross yan.
Really?
Yes.
I never
From
knew
Marlins
that.
to
We were the
Dragons?
UANP Marlins. Yes.
Marlins to the Dragons.
Kasi sa seal ng yung nung
Game of Thrones inspired ba yun,
1989
pare? Or Hogwarts inspired?
1989 pa yung mga ganun. Pagsimula ng ng CRC. Yun.
CRC.
Ginawa na siyang glass.
Inabutan namin ni
CRC
Gary.
pa talaga. Yun ang naabutan namin,
CRC.
CRC. Yun ang naabutan namin. Lumalabas sila natin, no eh. Si Farley, kumari, di alam ko din CRC.
Farley, di
Ano
alam.
daw yun? Ano daw?
Kumari, di alam.
CRC?
Di alam eh.
Mhm.
Ah.
Special trivia about Ross, no? Yes. And actually, kailan ba to? 2000. No, it was during the time na, I think during the time na kami yung coaching staff, no? There was a game na ni-record at tinelevise ng WNCAA. Kalaban was San Beda College, Alabang.
Alabang. Yes,
Alabang.
Bang.
Alabang yung kalaban namin. Hindi kayo, Coach Noy.
Hindi. Wala
Tapos yung
kinalaman
nag-cover ng game, ang kaibigan nating si Noel Zarate.
Oh.
Yun, kami mga graduate kasi kami ng workshops ni Noel, no. Yun, so kinover niya. Tapos during that game, sobrang dominant ni Ross kasi nga center siya, tapos pinapasa sa kanya. Every time na binibigay sa kanya yung bola sa ilalim, wala, up and under. Yun yung move ni Ross. Up and under yung moves niya. Yun, pasok, tapos rebound. Sobrang
Team
rebound
Duncan.
machine si Ross. Hindi siya Team Duncan, pare. Binansagan siya ni Noel.
I'm not gonna hear the end of this.
As Lady Shack.
Baby Shark!
Sa sobrang dominant ni Ross
Buti lang hindi
nung game na
Buti
yun.
lang hindi Shaka. Lady Shock. Shock.
Buti,
Paano naman?
buti hindi baby shark.
Hindi shock ka.
Baby shark.
Naalala ko pa yan. Nung pinapanood ko yung ano, Lady Shock. Talaga?
Parang puro
Kilala ko
letter
si
C
Noel.
or K, no?
I-message ko kagad si Noel. Eh.
Wow. Pero wait, all of 5'7" of you playing center?
Yes. Yes.
So,
I don't know if I
you
should say
Draymond Green.
were you the
fortunately or
tallest in the team or
unfortunately.
parang hybrid lang talaga, Chief? Ganun ba yun? Were you the tallest in the team or hybrid lang? Hybrid ka lang na parang,
Mas
sige, ikaw
matangkad
lang
pa
yung
si Mark sa'yo,
mag-sentro.
di ba?
At the time, parang slight difference lang. May slight difference na may mas matangkad sa akin.
Yeah.
Ganun.
Parang ano eh, maganda kasi
Oh.
yung basics din ni Ross. Yung footwork, yung ano, yung
Yeah, but
fundamentals niya.
at 5'7", I can imagine, WNCA ito, so you did mention na hindi na to basta-basta liga, di ba? Serious league na yan eh. I can imagine you going up against probably players or 5'10" or 6-footers even, tama ba? Yeah, as
Correct. Yeah,
a
there are.
center.
Yes.
So,
And
paano yun?
Those
I mean,
those games whose teams had girls with heights like that, talagang challenging kasi for a time, even in high school or even early on when I was playing in UANP, parang yun nga, dahil center, there were mostly the younger ones, those that were younger than me were not as tall as me or we weren't at par with the same height. So, nung nagkaroon na ng players na mas matangkad na sa akin, syempre parang, change game na naman. Parang, how are you going to defend these kinds of players naman na talagang isang pasa lang ganon. Talikod lang sa tira na agad. Parang, shucks. I wish. So, syempre, may moments na naman ng frustration. Parang, coach, di ko talaga alam kung ano nang gagawin ko. Parang ganyan.
Dapat ginamit mo yung ano, yung sa karate mo naman ng grade school.
Wala na, technical. But girls basketball, even if it doesn't look as physical as the way boys or the men play it, is also as physical when you're in the court. Kasi,
I can imagine.
yeah, parang,
No, because
mhm.
ano ba to? How do you say this? It's because I would assume, I don't want to say baka mali. I don't want to say it's slower kasi the boys have been playing basketball their all entire life. So parang
Yeah.
they kind of know how to move around it, di ba? Some of the females siguro at that point, you did mention some of them first time of organized basketball and everything. So I can imagine you getting hit inadvertently. Sometimes the
Yes.
body just doesn't want to cooperate. Alam
Yes.
ikaw, alam mo na yung gagawin mo, marunong ka na eh. Diba? But some of them, they're probably
Correct.
just like throwing their weight around and everything,
Mm-mm.
diba? Hindi pa ganun coordinated, I would assume.
Meron din talagang uncontrolled move or yung parang, coach, di ko naman sinasadya na gawin to pero nagawa ko pala siya. O di kaya, meron talagang times na, well, of course, when I was freshman at the time, almost every game, I would almost graduate. Parang, sorry coach. Like, you didn't mean to use that foul that way or you didn't want to give it away na parang useless foul gano'n.
Oh.
Pero wala kang magagawa. Natawagan ka ng ref, foul naman talaga. So parang, shucks. Okay, maybe another point to improve on and, those things that, yun yung mga na-value ko din, even post-game na okay yung masabihan ako ng coach na ito kailangan mo pang gawin or you could have done let's say this move better this way. I'm open to constructive criticism because I believe that that's going to be one of the ways that will help me improve myself and later on if I can accept that, then I can also help, I don't know, maybe another teammate who's also just starting to learn how to play. And yung being open to being coachable. That was one of the things also that I think I brought into when I started coaching already. The coaching naman came in when at 2014 officially, when I started handling UANP as a head coach. But of course, it wasn't without training. When I graduated from UANP in 2010 and all the way till 2014, I was assisting also for Coach Julie pa din. So she kind of took me under her wing also became one of my coaching mentors. And sabi naman niya na there's nothing you won't be able to do. Just parang, of course, to believe in yourself, things like that. And what you've learned before from your other coaches, it could be good to put some of these things together. But of course, when you're there now with your own players, you just parang gagawin mo na lang yung kung ano yung nandito yung parang kung ano na yung nasa puso mo without so much putting your mind into it. Parang gets like from the heart na lahat kasi that's already what you've learned. Parang kumaga muscle memory, pero muscle memory using the heart. Yun.
Which is a muscle.
Yes. Yeah.
Akala ko org. No, but wait, you guys won a championship, right? As a player, you won a championship. You won the dub. Tama ba? Kung tama na ko, 3 times? Wait, was I correct?
Once.
Once.
Yeah, once.
She was mythical 5
lang.
3 times.
So she was what? Sorry?
Mythical selection siya 3 times.
And then MVP once? Tama ba ko? If I heard it correctly.
Yung UANP, parang unitas.
Parang may internal awards, may internal awards.
Nice. For athletics, parang ganun, yeah. Of course, those didn't happen, of course, without the help of coaches and the help of teammates. Parang I don't really always, parang I don't want to take the spotlight because it really didn't happen without everybody else's support. And kumbaga, for me, bonus na lang talaga siya kasi nagbunga, kumbaga. And it wasn't really something na, okay, ito goal ko next year, ito goal ko the coming year, parang ganon. It's just that I want to do whatever I can do to help the team. And if that's going to be my contribution that way, then yes, let's go. The championship
coaching.
year, but then the championship year 2009, parang nagkaroon din siya ng prelude before that, because when Coach Julie came in already, I think we also had a revamp of the team, like in terms of how to get naman the goals done. Parang goal getting naman kami. We were transitioning from a period where we were transitioning from moral victory period towards competitive victory.
Actual victory.
Yes, in the hopes of competitive victory. Yeah. So in 2008, we were able to have a taste of our first runner-up finish in the Metro Basketball Tournament sa Pioneer, sa show. That was against AMA University. And then that same year was WPBL. Sila Coach Julie's team, Everbilena, because she was also handling UST, diba? UST joined WPBL also. So she said they were also looking for one more big. Sabi ko, one more big? Teka lang, pero UST level to. Siyempre, UAAP yan, ganyan. Parang, kaya ko ba yun?
UANP lang. Kulang ng
8%. Oo. So I said, okay, if coach thinks na I can learn from it and maybe later on pick up some things and later contribute to the team, okay, sure, why not? I'm open to that. And then after the WPBL season, I learned then that Coach Julie was a part of the original Everbilena team pala in 1999. which they had won also. And then, nung nag-three-peat yung team na nasalihan ko in 2008, sabi ko, ito na naman siya, like meeting of parang fate na naman ba, ganyan-ganyan. Which I got all excited and pumped up for by the time we were going to enter the WNCAA season again. Because when WNCAA season came, sabi ko, ito na, fourth year ko na, maybe this is going to come into fruition for something, for the team, I was hoping. But, of course, she was saying, let's take this one day at a time, one game at a time, yung talagang one play at a time, ganon. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just do what we can to the best of what we can, how we can. Okay, sige, game. When WNCAA season came, we were in Division B at the time. So, the stronger teams, which were St. Benil, Lyceum, sino pa ba? Miriam, I think, Miriam was in our league. Yeah, our in division pala. Sino pa ba yung nasa kabila? Basta, yung nasa Division A, na laging nasa Division A, sila lagi yung nagdalaban for the championship. So, when we'd see how Division A would play, syempre parang mas developmental yung B, but that was the time I said, wow, women's basketball can reach, women's basketball can reach levels that maybe I might not see during my college years, but I'm hoping sometime after college, women basketball players could get somewhere. Na parang it doesn't have to be the end of your playing career as a college basketball player for women.
Yeah.
Yeah, yun. And then the WNCAA championship, talagang one game at a time, literally, parang, uy, one win. Ito na, competitive win na. Nakaka one on the win board na kami. Tapos second win na. Really? Is this really happening? It's super turn-up events na parang, okay, but seriously speaking, sabi ko sa team noong time na yun, I think, guys, this is where the hard work has started to pay off. And it's not about time that we should let our guard down in the sense na, kaya naman pala natin eh. Hindi pwedeng maging complacent kasi nandiyan ka eh. Parang what more can you give so that we can get there? So then third win and then fourth win, that was until we got to sweep already the elimination. So sabi ko,
wow.
From an underdog team, when I came in from first year, all the way to this point, like really, I never thought it could happen. Or like, I never even dreamed like that was possible. Parang things also fell into place for one thing. And I just couldn't, parang talagang hindi ako makapaniwala at the time. And then parang hazy na yung afternoon eliminations until we got into the finals already because the finals was also really something in itself. Like, a whole other series, and they said, finals, best out of 3, best out of 3.
Who did you go
La Consolacion. Yes, Laco in Menjola, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Laco. So, yun, game 1, talagang intense kasi ito si Coach Joel, dami niyang dinalang schoolmates na parang first time namin magkaroon ng ganun na audience. Well,
hindi kasi kami katulad ng atin ngayon na bawat game may batalyon na nanonood.
Exactly.
Swertihan umabot ng 10 yung nanonood ng games. Kaya nung sobrang landmark yung milestone yun sa
Saints Co. Manila. Saints Scholastica Manila.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sobrang milestone yun eh. Sobrang milestone yun na parang, umabot ng finals yung women's basketball team. Tara, nood tayo lahat. Yun. Tapos in
Ano karami din alam mo, Chief?
campaign, 10. Saktong 10.
Ay, grabe to.
10 bus?
Parang marami.
Sampung bus.
Sobrang daming nag-turn out talaga to support the team that time. Eh,
Nice.
sobrang milestone yun eh. After a very, just to let you guys know, ang UANP, even before Ross's time, parang sila yung yung tinatalo ng almost 100 points on a regular basis. Before Ross's time. Sila yung ganun na team. Yun. Tapos pumasok si Ross.
Expansion
tapos,
team.
Yeah. Oo,
Pero na-experience ko rin yun, no?
At talaga?
Experience ko pa rin naman nun. Oo. Meron pa rin talagang games na gano'n. But, ayun nga, since Manila was always the venue of the games, parang 4th floor yata yun nung sports building nila, diba? And then they'd have these bleachers na even if you shout from one end of it, like you'll really hear that whoever screamed. So, one, we weren't used to the audience that we had. Two, it was more nakaka-pressure because nga we weren't used to having that audience. Tapos the championship first game. Of course, in my mind, it's like, I hope we do well or I hope we win. We win the first, parang ganun. Until the first game ended with a 1-point loss. Talagang,
Ouch!
kung naalala ko pa, 52-53. Ganun tumatak sa
Moral
isip
victory
ko.
na naman.
Yes.
Moral victory.
Only
Moral
lost by
victory na
1.
naman. By 1,
But-
oo. Yun.
Oo. Yun talaga yung parang ouch. Like, I never thought, syempre sport or basketball, yun yung parang feeling mo na even when with cousins, parang, but that's just a game. And then I realized, no, it's not just a game. Like, you can't treat it that way and say, it's okay to lose a game, it's just a game. No, not when it's your first finals appearance and you lose by 1 point. I remember the time the university president also came to watch. Tapos parang, syempre, as a player, parang shock, sorry, Doc. Sorry, we lost.
1 point.
Yeah. Nico, we'll try to make the next one. But I'm sure we will try to really make the next one. Para at least mag 1-1 man lang draw, diba? Or then we get into another chance. Yes. And then, which we did, we were able to get the second game.
Game 2.
Yes, with parang 5 points yung naging difference nun. So, medyo
Close
nakahinga-hinga ng konti. But, hindi kami nakalabas ng game ng talagang injuries yung players. Dumalas yung cramps kasi for longer periods of time plus the heat. Well, accounted naman yon. Accounted naman na rin yon sa mga games. Pero, I think coming into game 2 at the time, we were more adjusted in the sense na we already expected what game 1 has taught us. That it wasn't really going to be an easy game, or the La Consolacion really wasn't going to give up that game for us that easily. Kasi advantage na sila ng first game pa lang, so parang they're going to for sure defend that and all that they could, but ayun nga, thankfully na lang din, naka 1-all kami.
Nagdala ba ulit na crowd si Joel?
So, marami.
Ano ba yung game?
Mayroon.
Midweek yun eh. Meron pa rin, pero hindi, I think, as large as the
Na-pressure
game
sila
1.
dahil sa'yo, dinamihan mo kasi nung game 1 eh.
Kaya nga binawasan ko muna eh. Sabi niya, huwag muna kayo pumunta para hindi ma-pressure yung...
Kasalanan din ng university president, tumipot siya eh.
So, balas.
Hindi siya nanonood ng whole season, biglang dumating siya yung malas.
naging surprise factor siya actually.
Siyempre,
So,
pag may friends ka na nanonood, ayusin mo pa yung pagtali ng buhok mo, kung paano ka magpupunas ng pawis. Alam mo, you have to think about other things.
Ibang klaseng friend naman nata yan.
Hindi, kahit
Ayos
sino.
ang
I mean,
buhok.
if you have people watching, di ba? Normally, even with basketball players, pag kunyari, first few times sila na maglalaro on TV, di ba? Magpapagupit pa yun.
Iba yung galaw mo, di ba?
O, hindi ba yung galaw mo talagang pressure ka eh?
Pero Ito rin ba yung game na nanonood na si Jimmy? Si Coach Jimmy? No.
Lalapag, I think,
Oo.
Hmm.
Or Elims yun.
hindi ko,
Uy.
baka Elims
Lalapag.
yata.
Lalapag.
Baka Elims yata. Kasi his now sister-in-law niya na ngayon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yung teammate namin before in UAFP. So, kaya dumaan siya para manood once. Sometime, yeah.
Next. Akala ko dumapa sa dagat. You girls can do it! Akala ko
Mikey Mouse.
Akala ko sa game 3, guys!
Yung pep talk eh.
Oo, akala ko.
Dugout. Wala nga dugout sa Saints. Wala namang dugout sa Saints.
Wala.
Beside ng
Hindi
bleacher.
rin ako nakaranas ng dugout nung college.
Hagdanan lang yung dugout dun.
Ayun, side ng bleacher. So doon tayo sa gilid.
So pagdating mo, bihis na.
So ano, nandi kayo bis na and everything? Wala? Uuwi kayo, madugis and everything? Wala
Hindi naman, may CR. May
Ganun.
banyo
R,
naman.
grabe ka naman.
May
Pwede naman
banyo.
mag,
Akala ko.
refresh.
Akala ko walang
after.
ganun.
Oo.
Refresh.
Pwede mag-retire.
Teka, joke lang.
May bidet.
May
Televised na ba yun?
Nag-ayos. Ako kung,
Televised na ba?
nirecord ba nila yun? I think.
I'm not sure. Parang, well, I know for sure the parents were taking videos of it though. Di ko lang sure kung na-televise nga ba siya or kung may coverage, but okay lang. Kasi up to this day, nandito pa rin talaga siya. That feeling. Yeah. Yun, until
Game 3, what happened in Game 3?
Game 3, I think the narrative of Game 3 was just to go out and get it. Like, of course, we couldn't hold back anymore. That was already the culmination of everything that we had been working hard for from the time that we were transitioning coaches to when we had our first experiences into the winning category. Pero syempre, at the end of it all, the motivation was, let's win this, not just for the school, not just for ourselves, but the support of family and friends who have always come and, given us their readiness, whatever our mood was, whatever our dispositions were, because we were in the game as student athletes for the first thing. And syempre, we wouldn't have gone to that point if they weren't, of course, supportive of us in school and, doing these things day in and day out, coming out of training at what time already, and then going back to training early morning kahit weekend, and for all the sacrifices, of course. Parang, I remember one moment in the game when I thought we might be slipping away again. Parang third quarter yata yun, because two of my other teammates then were also in foul trouble, aside from me. So parang, third quarter pa lang, guys, come on, like, kailangan na natin tipirin yung mga fouls until the fourth quarter so that we can really finish properly, finish strong, and parang, okay, when the fourth quarter then came, I remember one play so particularly that I was supposed to be a decoy by the elbow. And then, for some reason, hindi natuloy yung pagiging decoy ko na nag-backdoor cut yung isa kong teammate, tapos dun pinasa yung ball, so naagaw. Nung naagaw yung ball, syempre fast break na to the other side si La Consolacion, di sprint na to the other side, nahabol pero na-foul. So free throws. But then, it came to the point where, okay, pagkatapos yung mag-free throw, whether or not ma-miss or ma-shoot, outlet pass agad, tapos quick run again to the other side. Sige. The free throw happened. We did that play. Nakahabol kami ulit. So we had a few exchanges. But then, I think the championship was sealed because a teammate attempted for a long three. until it ended up free throws here, because we were already in penalty. So that gave us a little more cushion in the end na parang, okay, talagang sealed na. Okay, we got this. When the final buzzer came, in my head, I thought my reaction was I would be running to my teammates like, yes, guys, we finally did it. Or I'd hug coach or like, finally, congrats, parang gano'n. But I ended up parang kneeling on the floor na parang yung nanghina feeling na pero relieved. Like, oh my golly, really? Buzzer na parang, okay, so I look up at the scoreboard and true enough, yeah, UANP was on top. I don't remember na the score, but when I was looking back, our head of sports already had the UANP flag, and for that to be brought out, wow, that kind of made me feel like, okay, another proud moment talaga. Kasi minsan lang din namin makita yung school flag na madalaman just outside school. Yung ganun na feeling. Some of the things you usually see in college sports, especially for men, like UAAP or in NCAA, usual na yun eh. Or usual na after the game, you'd be singing your alma mater like that. But of course, during this game, when it finished, I think the first thing we did was sing the alma mater because we had never done that in any other game before because we were always used to winning the moral victory. If I should put it that way.
And pag moral victory, walang alma mater him.
Wala din. Wala din. Kanya-kanya na lang yun eh.
Kanya-kanya.
Yeah.
Parang sine, ano?
Yung talagang I think to summarize that whole experience from grade school to college basketball, it was really something I never thought I could be in or never thought that I could be a part of. But yun, talagang thankful lang rin talaga to everyone who helped me, who helped us along the way. Because it wouldn't have really been something we could do without everybody's help. Yun, parang na-overwhelm pa rin ako actually to this day. And mas na-overwhelmed din ako for the fact that I'm in a position right now and in the PBA, hopefully to be able to do something that can, well, one, lift women's basketball. Two, maybe, grassroots level basketball could be something we can really look into na talagang to support and to hone, to enhance, enrich, like that. So that by the time they do get into college level or professional or amateur and professional level, we go back again to that whole circle, your journey. So parang your beginning really doesn't have to determine how you end. Parang, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, I mean,
Okay.
the whole
It does,
point
it
is
does.
development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the more
And
important part.
so far, with all your stories, talagang a person you meet eventually will be a big part of your life later on. Yung parang may connect kayo, di ba? It just goes to show you just don't burn bridges from one relationship to another
Yes,
kasi you'll
true.
never know.
Yes.
In the future, maliit lang ang mundo. You'll end up
Exactly.
in basketball
Small
pa.
world.
Maliit lang mundo,
It's a
nasa
small
Canada
world.
ka nga eh.
Oh, diba? Sobrang liit.
Yes.
Tapos lalo na in a circle like PBA pa, I'm sure coaching and everything. Women's basketball pa, I'm sure everyone kind of
Yeah.
knows each other or will know each other. There's a connection. So,
Yes.
importante
That's true.
na not to burn bridges, I guess. Right.
Yun nga. And the how to deal part with the people you meet, the relationships you make. Because in one way or the other, tama naman, Sir Gary, na you'll never know. Maybe, I don't know, years from now, in another way, you meet
Oh,
somebody, di ba? Na,
O malay mo, years from now, si Joel, coach siya talaga ng NBA team, di ba?
NBA
nga.
team talaga, no?
WNBA pa, malay mo,
NBA.
di ba?
why not?
Oh, di ba?
Why not, di ba?
Why not?
Yeah. Oo, nitas pala yung shirt mo. Ayos ah.
Oh, of course.
Wow, after an hour and a
represent.
half.
After an hour.
Ano napansin?
Ganun siya sa focus magkwento.
Oo.
Oo, eh. No, it's funny
Kinakabahan
because when
talaga
Ross
ako.
was telling her story, I'm sure nakikita mo sa ulo mo yung the whole thing unraveling, yung kinikwento mo, you're all remembering all of this. As in
Yes.
sorry, before we leave your college career, it's funny lang na you remember the score of your loss, not your
Yes.
victories, yung 52-53 mo. Talagang that
Yeah.
means talaga puso mo, puso talaga, di ba? Naalala yung talo, hindi yung panalo.
Oo.
Eh. Ganun ka, and at the same time, ganun ka competitive.
I think, yeah, that
Tao.
showed the part of me na parang, hindi
Diba?
pa ito.
Oh,
Oo, tama,
diba?
tama.
Yun yung naalala eh, di ba? Kay
Oh,
Joel, how did Ross play during that 3 championship series? MVP caliber talaga. Lady Shaq ba o Shaka?
Grabe.
Shaka.
Kasi si Ross was a focal point talaga ng offense eh. Pero yung ano doon is yun nga, she was that focal point. Yung sinabi niya na she would play decoy, whatever Coach Julie needed, yun yung ginagawa niya. So it wasn't as dominating as during her first years, I would say. Pero it also, I think, came out because nagkaroon ng support eh. Diba dumating na sila Ara, sila
Yes,
Sil, diba? Yun na yun eh.
Yeah.
Nagkaroon na ng support
May mga
and they
teammates na.
and the whole team matured together. I think that's also what happened there. Yung first unang bagsak nila Ross, first year si Ross. Medyo nagde-develop pa lang lahat, wala pang set system. Medyo malabo pa lahat. Kahit ako, I was just a volunteer assistant coach. It wasn't really my thing. I was parehas tayo coach na, I was a glorified statistician. Nagte-take down ako ng points.
It's a very
Nagte-take down
glorified role. You don't have to put glorified before.
Hindi na.
Hindi na.
Statistician
I
is a
was a
very
statistician.
glorified role. Pero yun,
Which still played a vital role.
Yes, very vital.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
Makikita mo yung development ng team eh. Na macha-chart mo yung development ng team. And it really got to that point, especially during those 3 finals games na nakikita mo na everyone was already on the same page. Everyone was pulling for the same things. Yun, and it really just got there. Yun yung kagandahan.
Nice.
So fast forward naman tayo ngayon. So from even before you got into the PBA, working for the PBA, you actually had a little bit of an experience of the PBA when you played in the 3-on-3 tournament that they had for anong conference? Commissioner's Cup ba?
Commissioner's Cup, yes, of 2016. Yeah, Commissioner's Cup 2016. They held the tryout for, I think this was the second cycle already. Kasi earlier in 2015, about October, I think, they had the pioneer set of women's basketball 3x3. So when we heard about it, the teammates I tried out with were my teammates in college. I had Ara Violena, Sil Alcantara, and Madeline Gapit, si Mads. So kaming apat yung sumali dun sa tryouts for women's 3x3. And then the cut-off came nung lumabas na yung final list of names. Sabi ko, asan yung tatlo? Okay, natira dun sa isang, I mean, parang bittersweet na yung ganong feeling. Kasi syempre, you tried out together and you wanted to be a team together doing this. And then, there came a time that I was asking them, because when we had known already the final list, tapos they put us in teams already. Sabi ko, it's okay guys, if I don't push through, because I would have wanted to do this with you guys, with me, kasi sama-sama tayo, ganun. Sabi na, hindi, continue doing that because you're already there. And then I was like, also wanting to get their, ano ba yun? Siyempre blessing na parang kung talagang okay ba sa inyo, o sige, I'll go push through. But I would have wanted us to do this together sana. So, sabi nila, hindi, sige, tuloy mo lang yan. So, they were able to come to watch the games also. Yun pa pala another experience with 3x3 kasi also the dream as a girl basketball player was to set foot on the Araneta Coliseum and be able to play there because it's not
Nice.
all the time that you get that chance. And siguro lagi ko na lang napapanood siyempre, Araneta, UAAP, kahit man lang women's UAAP, sobrang bihira yung chance na makapanood ako or to be able to set foot there and watch, diba? So, okay, when they said the games were going to be in Araneta in between two PBA games or during halftime of the PBA games, I was like, bonus na yung nakapasok, bonus pa na during PBA games, bonus pa na sa Araneta pa maglalaro. And then they said, oh, some game venues might be in MOA Arena ha. So, talaga ba? So, pwede pang maglaro sa MOA? Wow! So,
Hindi televised?
During that time, there was coverage. I think they covered it, pero online lang yata siya lumabas. Wala pang PBA rush doon dati. So, merong mga games na naka-upload, I think. But they didn't televise yet.
So, do you have games that are uploaded? You can actually watch you?
I think so, yes.
What
Star
team?
Hotshots.
Parang ayaw.
Yeah.
Parang ayaw mo.
Star
Star
Hotshots.
Star
Hotshots. Wow.
Yes. And then there's another thing that I thought was coincidental was why Star Hotshots? Parang ganon. Eh, syempre, there's really no backstory into putting extra meaning into why I thought that they'd put me in this particular team and why not the other. Yung parang ganon. Or feeling ko lang ba, ako lang yung gumagawa ng sariling storya na, Star Hotshots. Kasi yung what I thought could be a symbol that I would usually relate to is a star. Kasi parang, yung street name namin, Starline. Tapos parang, I put like my name to be Rosc in one of my social media. Parang ganon. Excuse me. But basically because the symbolism of a star to me is that it always gives me hope. Parang ganon. Siyempre, among dark night, gano'n, tapos may stars, parang, kumbaga, always to look at the silver lining in things. That was the meaning of it to me. So, wala, coincidental lang siguro yan, parang gano'n. Or I may be putting meaning again into things that aren't supposed to be that big of a deal.
Which is not so bad.
Yeah.
Ayun, we had, ano ba? Yung mga kalaban namin for W3X3, a lot of them were UAAP former players. A lot of them were also had just graduated playing from the UAAP. So parang syempre level of play and competitiveness was very different from the game that I will be used to playing. And considering that was 2016, I was already a graduate from college X number of years ago, mga ganyan. So parang, wait lang, last time ko talagang naglaro was a while ago. So, okay, let's see how 3x3 will be. But more than just being able to play in the games, I think the reason why a lot of women's basketball players were so eager to get into playing it was it because you're uplifting women's basketball. And parang that was the main goal that everybody wanted to bring pa rin. I mean, I think up to now, well, there's another league for women's basketball, may WNBL, pero what we really want is for women's professional basketball, hopefully here in the Philippines. We were hoping also that women's 3x3 could continue. Well, that was only in 2016 din kasi na-sustain. And then, right now, it's still on hold. It's on hold from the PBA. So we're still working on restarting things for 3-on-3 women's. Kasi lately naman, yung men's 3x3 naman yung tinatry na i-push. For FIBA. For FIBA naman din kasi. So, yes, some priorities have changed a little bit, but siguro we'll take a back seat muna with women's PBA. But I'm still very hopeful that at some point in time, sana matuloy or sana mabalik. Yun.
Ayun. So,
Saka sana magkaroon ng
Go.
sana magkaroon din ng women's D-League. Para may counterpart din for collegiate women's basketball. And then, yun, pag nagkaroon na talaga ng women's PBA, at least, yun nga, from grassroots all the way up to professional. Sana.
Ayun. So, pasok na tayo ngayon sa current mong position. May sasabihin, anong masasabihin mo, Farley?
Di ba, yung sa 3x3 sa PBA before, PBA was the one who assigned you to different teams?
Yes, it was PBA. Oo.
Paano kayo pa-practice nun? No? Parang hirap. Yung kilala mo, hindi nakuha. Tapos pinagsama-sama kayong halos hindi magkakakilala.
True. Challenge.
How long did you have to get to know each other before you actually got into the tournament?
I think we had 2 weeks. 2 weeks lang.
Parang
And
hilas
then-
lang no?
Scheduled na kayo to play, Practice na. Yun
So, pati coaches assigned? Your coaches were assigned also?
You could have an option to bring in a coach or not. But what we did was, most of the teams, kami lang. Kaming 4 lang talaga sa team na mag-uusap-usap, gano'n. But some teams who knew coaches who were willing to help or assist them, they were there also with them on the court. So, syempre, mas okay sana kung may coach din lahat para at least talagang mas competitive or that we had enough time also to get to know our teammates or learn about each other's play, parang ganon. But I understood that it was, kumbaga teaser. Parang teaser din kasi na pasimula pa lang din naman yung women's 3x3. And it was a way to see how receptive the people could be with women's basketball. And it was during the games in Araneta and in MOA that I saw that people were actually astounded. I don't know if I could say astounded or maybe awed at the capability of women's basketball because we were playing in between PBA games. So kahit pa sabihin mo filler ka lang, pero iba yung napapanood ng tao during that time. Parang pwede pala or may talent rin pala. That syempre 'di ba? Reality is women's basketball isn't as advertised or maybe in the given much exposure as men's basketball has been given. So parang ito's an opportunity also to let people be aware that women can too, parang ganon. Kasi a lot of our opponents also, a lot of the women who were participating were actually coming from Navy. So may Navy kaming nakalaban.
So Timo Star Hot Shots?
Yes, Star Hot Shots.
Anong number mo?
14 pa din.
14 kasi yung number.
0917.
Zero.
You got into was that the first time that you got connected to the PBA and then after that pumasok ka na as a operations and development manager of in the league?
Actually, yes. I think it was the 3x3 experience and exposure that also kind of like was the stepping stone. But after the conference finished, I received a call from them saying that they wanted to continue developing women's 3x3 and if I was interested to take on that. But I said, currently then, I was coaching for UANP. And at the same time, I was handling the sports division. I mean, sports development for UANP. So I kind of had my plate full, but syempre PBA yun, parang I kind of need to weigh my options here, parang ganon. And as in, it took me a while to decide on it, but I wanted to discern about it well, to be able to make that move. Kasi parang naisip ko rin, it's not always that you get to be given this kind of opportunity. And if they've seen me already in women's basketball and hopefully wanting to do the same for the PBA for women's basketball, then maybe this was the opportunity that I could put the things that I was once dreaming of to parang to reality, parang ganon. And if it was going to be a stepping stone to do that, it won't be just my dream that I could maybe make into something real for women's basketball, but I'd also be helping or bringing that dream of the previous women's basketball players na we can lay out this plan so that maybe at some point in time, the younger ones who are starting to play out basketball maybe can set foot, I don't know, play women's 3x3 in the PBA or set that platform and prepare it for them na para pag after nila mag-college, meron ng, I don't know, sana professional league na for women's basketball. So parang that's my bigger picture. Yun.
This started 2016, right?
Yes,
After playing for
2016.
3x3, you started working for the PBA na.
Yes, months lang. Parang the 3x3 that I played in was, I think, February. Basta Commissioner's Cup. Commissioner's Cup yun. And then I came on board with the PBA noong July of that year. So it also took a little while kasi nga I wanted to paano ba?
You wanted to
ni
get a
Sir
new
Gary,
play?
no burning bridges. So I also wanted to leave properly naman from
That's
UAN.
true. Oo naman.
Anyway, so Ross, you're in operations and development sa PBA. So you're in.
Yes.
Tama ba ako in my understanding that you are on top of looking for new avenues that the PBA can grow? Is that your part of your responsibilities? And you also mentioned, I read in your that you're also part of the technical committee. So what does it mean to be manager of operations and development in the PBA?
Well, for most part, operations is really day-to-day for basketball operations. That includes PBA games, the D-League when it's in season, including our summer program for kids, yung Batang PBA. And well, part of the development side of the PBA's business is for the upcoming PBA 3x3 also. But aside from that, there are many things rin kasi regarding development that we also share among each other. So it's not necessarily just one person handling development naman. But we're looking into opportunities to make more avenues or to bring PBA closer to the fans in that sense. And then being able to get other sorts of businesses that can help also the PBA. Parang gano'n. And then, yung operations naman, the technical aspect of it is also part of the operations. I think you asked earlier nga kung male-dominated ba yung operations tsaka tech.
Yeah.
And yes, it is.
And dev.
Yes, it is. I would say, ano ba? Rosc among Thorns, o yan.
Yun!
Wow!
Yun!
Funny,
Soundbite na tayo. Yan na ang title ng show natin. Ng episode natin.
Nung pasok ko sa PBA, knowing that, I said, of course, it's not going to be something that I could think could intimidate. Parang ganon. Like, okay, I'll take on the challenge. It's more of like how to be able to work in that kind of environment, given that, yes, it is a male-dominated workplace or department, or it is what it is. But then maybe that's the reason why also I was brought in, maybe to give a different kind of perspective, or to bring in a different kind of insight, that even if it's a male-dominated environment, parang ganon, like what can I bring to the plate? Or that's how I would look at it. Yeah.
When you were brought in, di ba you said initially it was to help develop the women's basketball side of the PBA. Included in yung pagiging operations manager when you were asked to accept?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was. Parang operations was going to be my main role.
I see.
But the development for women's 3x3 was parang part of the KPI, parang ganon. Part of what I need to deliver at the time. Yeah. But yun nga, naka-hold kasi siya ngayon because we had the transition to new commissioner, si Kong Welina. So there was also a revamp with the program. So time out lang muna. Time out. Yun.
Yeah, especially with the pandemic, it brought the deadline.
Ganun ba yun? Kapag new commissioner, parang gobyerno ba na everyone has to resign because you'll bring in your own people, or you just stay on?
No. Stay on.
Parang gobyerno, di ba? Ganun yun, di ba?
Terminus, ganun.
Ang ganon.
Terminus. Malay mo, di ba?
Stay on naman. Stay on.
Stay on, yeah. Very good.
No.
Kung ang kailangan nyo sa 3x3, no? Kailangan nyo ng team. Si Farley, magpapasok yan. Yung kanyang Don Antonio Spurs. Ipapasok
niya. Baka may 50-year-old and above division ng 3-on-3. Yun, sali kami ni Farley.
Si Farley.
Accepting pa naman ng yung sa men's 3x3, may open pa.
Yun, yung 10-minute game pag 50 and above, mga final score, 2-0. Yung mga ganun. After 10
3 naman, 3 naman, naka 3 point shot si Farley.
3-1.
Speaking of the 3-on-3, no, the 3-on-3 tournament, can you give us any updates on the tournament so far? Ano ang latest natin?
Yes, well, kasi 3x3 is going to be launched. So that in partnership naman with SBP, we're trying to help our overall ranking with FIBA. So that was the premise. That's the premise also.
Nice.
And since we want to bring 3x3 and make more people aware of it, given that it's been available na rin naman with other leagues and other tournaments, parang that's one way that the PBA is branching out. Yeah. And aside from the FIBA premise, it will be played, It will be played, I think, a month after the PBA comes back. Or that's when it will be launched. Pero syempre, since things are still
separate tournament, yung design niya right now, separate tournament siya, as in separate playing days, or katulad din nung nangyari when you joined Star Hotshots, in between games, yung games niya.
No. It will have its own game days, yes.
Oh.
So it's different event siya entirely than the PBA games. Hindi siya halftime feature, hindi siya ganun.
Yes, hindi. It will have its own
Okay,
time.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ito yung kila Coach Eric Altamirano, no? Coach Ronnie,
Coach Ronnie.
Magsano.
Yes.
Yeah, and Coach Joey.
Oo. Yes, Coach Joey Guanyo. Correct. Yeah, yun. Yan yun. Yun.
Yeah, may insider information si Farley.
Oh.
Hindi.
I'm just I'm curious.
Mhm.
Being in a male-dominated work environment, I mean, what advantages? I mean, are you put in situations wherein you think being female is a big advantage for you in certain situations? Are there situations wherein having a woman's point of view with the business of the PBA? I mean,
Okay.
does it, is it an advantage for you to have that woman's point of view?
Yeah,
Yes,
yung parang
I'd say yes.
you will probably see things a little more rosier than us boys. Mas macho kasi kami.
Roskier. Roskier.
Diba?
Rosier.
Oh, diba? It will be roskier with
Yes.
you.
I'd say yes. There are some things. Minsan kasi may things na hindi nila makita in one angle. Kumbaga, di ba parang sa refereeing position lang. So parang I'm in another position, I see something else, and then I bring it up and say, maybe we can do it this way, or to suggest that there are other ways to look at it na parang sometimes also they say, oo nga no, pwede nga naman pala. Parang ganun. And of course it feels good kasi your opinion and your suggestion is also taken into consideration, not just because most of them see it one particular way. And I think the same goes for the women in the organization also when we get to suggest things that aren't seen by our male counterparts in that sense. So yun. Yes, it has its advantages.
Nice.
Saka una siyang kumakain. Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Parley
Mag-buffet.
naman, naghirap ako mag-isip ng tanong, tas ganyan lang yung comment.
Si Farley kasi gentleman. Gentleman.
Oo.
Isip niya.
Saka na mahuli pa siya. Takot lang nila magkarate yan.
Saka I think in this day and age, sorry Chief, in this day and age naman yata talaga, it's more talaga, di ba, the women, alam natin na all gone are the days na the women are just literally decorations and everything like that. They have a bigger hand in the whole thing, di ba? And
Yes.
I'm sure pag dumating yung 3-on-3 malala, makikita natin ang touch ni Rosc kung paano.
I hope so.
Okay.
I hope so.
No, I mean, you can probably, I'm sure you'll come up with plans to bring in more female fans to it or more, alam mo yun, yung mga gano'n, more family stuff para mas na, to make the PBA more innovations. I'm sure marami ka naisip ng mga ideas. I'm sure dahan-dahan mo lang yan. For now.
Yeah, nandyan lang yan. Pero si Commissioner...
nakaparada.
Oo. Si Kong Willie naman, open naman siya to receive and accept the suggestions that we have from the office. And he's had many programs already rolled out, actually with bringing the fans closer to the players. Like before, we used to have yung PBA home court, we'd visit barangays, and yung talagang on a personal level, reach out to the fans who were there. Because at the end of the day, sila naman talaga yung sumusubaybay. Yun. And sumusuporta. Yun.
Saka parang may meet and greet na before, di ba? Parang may meet and greet yung second game players.
Oo.
Kung
So,
dumarating na mas maaga.
Yeah, correct. He'd allow for the fans to meet the second game players dun sa lobby.
Entrance. Yeah,
so para may opportunity then for the fans to be closer, not just on the court. I mean, syempre kung nasa medyo upper ka nakapwesto or nasa lower, it would be hard for you to come closer to the players. So yun, he's created more of those opportunities to bring the fans closer to players.
Nice.
And you're at the forefront of bringing all of these programs to the PBA, no? Making them happen.
One off naman. One off. Not just the one. we're a team naman eh, syempre. So
Grabe.
anything that we can come up with to bring the PBA there and bring the fans closer, why not? Yun.
Gary, you were saying something?
Yeah.
No, natutuwa lang ako kay Rosc kasi napaka-humble na tao eh. Talagang team effort, talagang spoken like maraming moral victories talaga eh. No?
Experience.
Nag-uumpisa yan eh.
In that sense.
Nag-uumpisa yan eh, di ba? All that moral victories. And when you start winning, you know dahil, ay, hindi ko pala kasalanan to, it's a team effort. It's always like that. Kaya,
Lubog sa iba.
realize, okay. Yung mga ganun, di ba? Kakatuwa lang eh. And then now that you're bringing it to your work, nakakatuwa lang.
Well, yun nga talagang, life lessons talaga eh. I think, apart from life lessons is the attitude that you really have that will bring you places, kumbaga, or that will bring you to the relationships that you were meant to have. Because your attitude, you can't fake your attitude unless magaling ka lang talagang actor or actress. I mean, because mapapakita mo lang talaga din yung personality, your character, and of course, in the actions that you do and in the things that you say. So, I think yun, life lessons from when you can be way younger up until to your adult life. Yun. Mababaon mo talaga siya.
Parang
Si Ross pa talaga yung nagbibigay ng life lesson sa atin.
sa atin eh, no?
Oo nga eh. Ako na masabi.
But I think that's a good point to end. And that,
Kaya mga tito, repent!
Uy, grabe!
anyway, that is it for Sportito. Okay. Ngayon naman, throwback tayo ng konti, no? We haven't played this part of our show for like ever since nung nagsisimula pa lang yung show. Anyway, let's
season
go into
1 lang
our segment
yata
called,
yun.
yes, season 1 lang. Let's go into our segment called Tara Laro Tayo. For this episode, Tara Laro Tayo, maglalaro tayo ng kayo lang pala maglalaro. Maglalaro kayo ng charades. Right? Ang partners natin dito are si Mr. Excited, si Gary, at saka si Coach Miron, si Noy, tapos si Ross, ang kapartner, si Mr. Pasabog, si Farley. Yun. Alam nyo,
generation gap yung kabila.
Ang laki ng generation gap ng dekada.
Oy, Gary
charades naman eh.
Maghanda na kayo sa moral victory nyo.
Yun. Okay, alam niyo
Gary,
naman
isang
ang
dekada
rules
sila,
ng
dalawang
charades,
dekada.
Alam niyo naman ang rules ng charades.
Hindi
Ang rules ng charades.
Laglagan ha.
You act out kung ano man yung ibibigay ko na sagot. Tapos your partner has 1 minute to try to guess the answer.
Dati muntik na ako mali sa show dahil dito eh.
Our topic for tonight is sports movies featuring women. So ito yung mga pelikula about sports kung saan female ang leading role. Pelikula. Ang leading role.
Baka di alam ni Rosc kung ano yun
ha?
Uy, grabe.
Okay. Pelikula. Siya.
Okay.
Okay. Ross, since ikaw yung special guest, i-call mo heads or tails?
Or
Heads.
Okay, heads. Kayo, anong gusto nyo mauna or gusto nyo kayong...
Siyempre, pag yun, lagi
daya.
magpapauna.
Farley, ikaw mamili.
una, kahit ano ko. Ang hina ng kalaban.
Ano?
Kahit ano ko
Sino? O sige, sila.
Sila mauna, okay. Okay.
Ikaw muna mag-act out.
Ako mag-act out, patay tayo.
Okay lang yan, ganun din.
Ako
Pag
daw
ako
una.
nag-act out, patay rin tayo.
ba't pa siya mauna? Pareho lang pala.
Huwag ka nga
Okay.
makialam.
Okay.
Strategy namin.
Alright, Gary.
Dami ko tuloy edit dito.
Timer. Timer starts now.
3 words. Ang nagawa mo, humingi ka ng pera. Wait lang.
Op, hindi pwede magtanong ha.
Beg? What word? Sabi mo kasi lang anong word. $1 million baby! Third word. Uy, ba't ka nag-iPad? Bawal yan. Finger, half, cut.
Oy, bastos. Alam na ni Ross, yari kayo.
Cheer.
5,
Cheer.
4, 3, 2,
Bring it on.
1. Yun! Nakahabol! Nakahabol!
Buzzer beater.
Buzzer beater!
Buting! On!
Cheerleading eh.
Cheerleading.
Cheerleading.
Cheerleading. Kasi ito hindi ko na baka di mo alam yun.
Bring. Kasi pwedeng bring,
Tapos on.
pwedeng
Spit sana
ask,
on.
pwedeng beg.
Oh, wala eh. Ganun eh.
This is just a stupid
Bulo
game.
mo.
Let's do this.
Galing mo, Noy.
Yun, no? 1 point.
Buzzer
Oh,
beater.
Parang daya yun ha.
Beater. May delay pa yun ha.
Yun na.
Wala kayang daya yun.
Bag.
Eto na naman si Farley.
Yan naman yung mga...
Kantay lang yung
Papahula.
countdown eh.
Sino magpapahula? Sino ang mag-act out?
Ako. Sige, ako.
Okay.
Baka wala akong alam movie. Mas marami kang alam na movie.
Iikot din naman eh.
Papalit din
Ikaw,
kayo.
mas maraming alam.
Papalit din.
Papalit din kayo
Mas
eh.
marami alam talaga yan.
Okay,
Sige.
nakuha na, Ross.
Ikaw.
Okay.
Okay.
Madali,
Baka
madali
mahirap
lang, ha?
umubo, mahirap.
Timer.
Alala,
Starts.
Oh, may clue. May clue yun. May clue.
English. 4 words? Nakapatay ka haba. Boxing. Karate Kid. Second word. Return. Return of the Dragon. Karate.
Babae yung bida.
Arna. Third word. Karate. Karate. Small. Little. Low. Small.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Sabi
1. Okay, wag mo na sabihin. Wag mo muna sabihin.
Pero may
Ross.
naintindihan ka,
May
wala ako
chance to
naintindihan.
Wala ko
May
rin
chance
tinatawa.
to-
Wala ko natawa kay Farley.
Wala, hindi kayo mag-ano, hindi kayo maghuhula.
Sige, gigess ako.
Mag-last.
Go, go.
Pwede ba siya mag-last guess?
Oh, last guess muna si Farley. Ayan, go.
Ako na. Ako na.
Si Ross, eh.
Ako alam ko na.
O go, Gary.
Go, Gar.
The next Karate Kid.
Yon! Tumama na si ano eh. Tumama ka na sa Karate Kid.
Sa
Hindi mo
karate.
nakuha yung next eh.
May next.
Kasi si ano
So may point na kami.
2 out
Ulit.
of 4
Points na
tama
kayo.
kami. Karate Kid.
So 2 points na kami. So kahit,
So,
kahit pumalpa ako dito, okay
kami,
lang.
0.5.
Hindi ko gagalingan dahil baka mahulaan nila.
so yun, starring si ano yun, si
Dumbo.
Hilary Swank. Siya yung...
bago siya
Sorry.
maging $1 million
Almost there.
baby. Almost.
Almost there.
Almost there.
Monte,
Wala ko yung
Monte.
Farley. Darna.
Sino-
Paano naging sports team si Darna?
Babae daw bida eh.
English nga, 4 words, Darna.
Darn!
Darna at babae tuod.
Darn!
Okay, coach. Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Huh?
Timer
Ngiti-ngiti
starts
pa
now.
si Kagiwa. Kagiwa tuloy.
English. Yeah. 3 words. Third word. Baby. Baby? $1 million baby?
Ang dali naman yan eh.
Okay,
Oh my
congratulations.
gosh, 3-0,
Good job.
3-0.
Oh, may...
Meron
Uy, kaya kayo sa guest ha.
Ikaw ang mahiya. Ikaw yung mahiya.
Ikaw mahiya. Nahula ako yung sinabi niya eh. Ikaw mahiya. Nahulaan ko siya eh.
Sige.
Kaya natin to.
Sige.
Pero,
Go.
sige, game.
Kaya natin yan.
Kaya mo yung files.
Ayan.
Nang waiting naman.
Marley, game 4 na, 3-0.
3-0 na, baka ma-sweep kayo.
Ready, Files? Timer starts now.
3 words. English. Second word. Swimming. Bulag. Blind. Third word.
Kung salita.
Second word yung blind. Okay.
Alam ko na eh.
Third word. Next. Beside. Blind side. The blind side.
Yon!
The blind side.
Salamat.
Ah,
Galing. Ano nakakampi ko?
di ba tungkol dun, tungkol sa ano yun, football player?
Pero sino yung
Pero yung si Bida, si Sandra Balak, di ba?
Oo, di ba? Oo.
Okay.
Kaya sinabi ko.
Correct.
Nahulaan na lang, magre-reklamo pa.
Yes.
Ano ba?
Oh, 3-1.
3-1. O, pwede pa. Kaya pa yan.
Hanggang ilan ba to?
Hindi na-sweep na eh.
1,000.
May 5 akong
1 to 100 to.
Lima na eh.
Okay.
1 to 100.
Ayan.
Me? Oh my God!
Timer starts
Luna yun ha.
now.
Game?
Game.
2 words. Hala, huwag ka tumayo.
Huwag tumayo.
Blue Crush!
Kapatalon ako.
Surfing? Ah! Cutting edge.
Hoy, bawal salta ha. Alam na ni Rosc.
Second word.
No.
First word. Ikaw. Ay. Ay, Tonya.
Pandaraya na to eh.
Grabe yan ay yung mga pinakamahirap ah.
Easy.
Yun na.
Hulaan, hindi ko alam yung pelikulang yun.
Parang magpapadiburay sana ako, magpapiruet sana ako rito, kaya ako tumayo.
Ala ko
Ako na
nagsusurf.
magpapahula.
Ala ko nagsusurf ka eh.
O nga, actually pwede, sir.
Tapos naisip ko cutting
Oo,
edge
napag-
dahil naggumanong ka na, ice skating na. Okay.
Oo, di ba? Oo.
Anino yun.
Cutting edge, oh.
Okay, sige, ito.
Ako ulit.
Wala.
Hindi, si Ross.
Oh.
Patay.
Salitan ko.
Anong patay?
Hindi ako mahilig manood kasi ng sine.
Eh, paano ka nagde-date dati?
Wala nga akong
Uy,
date.
mahirap.
Talagang diniin mo pa. Single nga.
Ala, mahirap daw.
Okay, ready, set, go.
English. 2 words. First word. Sad. Mad. Cry. Sad, cry, sob. Second word. Crush. Crush? The crush? Ice crush? Crush ice? Cry crush? Cry crush? My crush?
Oh.
Crush ko.
Time's up. Last
Steal,
guess.
steal. Can I steal?
Last guess. Parley, last
I
guess.
want to steal.
Crush ko.
Okay.
Opa, kalahati na naman kami, ha? Tama yung crush.
Steal? Can I steal?
Wait.
Do the honors, Noy.
Blue crush.
Do the honors, Noy.
Blue crush.
Yes.
Sinabi ko na yan kanina.
Sabi na niya kanina.
Oo.
Blue, ayos, feel
Blue.
blue.
You're sad, you're
Feel blue.
I'm sorry, partner. Sorry,
No,
Okay
partner.
lang, partner.
I don't think it's your fault.
One, two.
Ako,
I need to catch a breath.
Natawa ko eh. Crush, ice crush? No. Crush ice?
Buti ko pa kami hula, crush landing on you.
Excuse
Doon ako
me.
natawa eh.
Very good effort.
Good effort, Parley. You.
Good effort, Parley.
Naka 4 points na kayo, no?
You're very entertaining, Parley.
4 points na sila, si Gary, tsaka si pag nakuha nila to,
1, 2, 3,
tapos na tayo. Tapos na tayo
Okay.
pag nakuha nila to.
1 to 5 lang ba?
Ay, ako mag-act out. Di ba tapos? Inalingan ko nga mag-steal para hindi na ako mag-act
Ice
out.
crush. Ice crush nyo. Crush ice. Sorry. Sorry, natawa lang ako, Pearls.
Okay lang yan.
Okay. Ito. Ayan, coach.
Hindi na kayo nahiya, tatalunin niyo yung guess.
Sana galing
Timer
magaling ka
start.
talaga.
Starts now.
Tagalog. 5 words.
Word. 4 words.
Looks
Sounds
like.
Sounds like substitute. Sounds like
Di ko kayang tanggapin. Mamawawala ka na sa akin.
X. Tennis. Back.
Alam mo na nanadya ka, hindi rin namin mahuhulaan yan eh.
First word. Drink. Gatorade. Thermos. Can. Bottle. A bottle. Bottle. First word, bottle. The Battle of the Sexes.
Oh my gulay.
Sabi ko sa'yo, may hilig sa pelikula yung mga yan eh.
Kuha ko? Tama? Nice.
Kelly?
Galing na strategy ko, no?
Oh, X's. Okay. Very good.
Galing.
X sounds like.
Exes.
Sounds like nga, may sounds like kasi.
Battle of the Sexes.
Yun. And with that, the connection of Gary and Noy, Team Gray.
Protesta kami
Sorry,
kay Commissioner.
Team Gray. Team
Sorry.
Gray.
Protesta kami kay Commissioner.
Matadala kita ng crushed ice as more as a consolation prize.
Team 1 decade wins
Hoy.
over team 2
Hoy,
decade.
dalawang kalahati namin, kinuha nyo. Dapat 4 pa lang kayo.
Other movies that featured women are of course Bend It Like Beckham.
Yeah.
Meron pa rin Ha? Hindi mo alam yun,
Ano
Bend It
yun?
Like Beckham. Grabe naman.
David Beckham?
Tuloy mo na lang, Chip. Sino pa?
Meron ka pang She's the Man.
Oh
Tapos
my God,
meron ka
tagal
of
na,
course the penultimate the quintessential sports film that features women, A League of Their Own.
Yun.
A league of their own.
Yun lang ang nag-google ni Farley eh. Hindi lumabas.
Kaya kilala ni Farley dahil nandun si Madonna.
Ah,
Yun. So at the end of the game, no? Moral victory. Bumalik like what was said, no?
Alam mo, nasa rebuilding
Circles,
kami.
circles.
Susunod.
First
First year pa lang ni Rosc eh.
Moral victory. Yun.
Kaya
Tama.
The score is
Tamba kami
5-1.
first year pa lang eh.
Oo.
pagbalik
Okay lang
ni Ross,
yun.
ano
Balik
na,
na yan.
hindi na silent C na yan. Kapag rebuild na siya eh.
Pagbalik na, nyari kayo.
Mag-aral ka ng mga pelikula. Ganon.
Game 1 pa lang to eh. Talo kami 53-52.
Yun, no?
Parang hindi lang 1 point.
Amin nga yung dalawa.
So anyway, that's it.
Nashoot yung free throw eh.
That's yung free throw.
Sorry.
That is it
Nakakaw nyo
for
lang.
Tara Laro Tayo. Yun. Yun. And dyan, nagtatapos ang isa na namang episode ng Laro-Laro lang. Before we go, gusto lang namin ulit pasalamatan ang aming special guest for tonight. Rosc, once again, thank you so much for joining the Sportitos and telling us all about your sports journey, blazing a trail as a woman in a male-dominated field, no?
Thank you, Sportitos.
Oh.
Thank you for having me. I just hope that syempre we want to inspire as many women's basketball players as we can, but of course to inspire those who are watching you, who are listening to you, and so that we can work towards a common goal. I hope sports gets to resume already soon, and I hope the pandemic also finishes as soon as it can. But everybody, please keep safe and take care always. Isa pa pala akong pabaon na lang. Sana tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang laban. PBA tuloy ang laban. Yan.
Yun.
Yun.
Ganda ng parting shot na yon. Tuloy na natin ang ating mga parting shot. Of course, starting with our daddy who's dribbling all the way in Canada, Mr. Excited Gary Villanueva.
Again, thank you, Rosc, for nagtyaga ka sa aming mga titos, pinakinggan na nakakityaga ka sa mga kwento namin.
I learned so much from you guys.
It's not every day you get to meet the female version of Shaka. Kaya Shaka talaga, no, but anyway, in a serious note, Rosc, thank you very much. No, your story is very inspiring. Hopefully, women who listen to this, they tell their kids everything. Talagang gagaling nung you're blazing a trail, hopefully for other women to follow, no. At the same time, honestly, you are wise beyond your years. We were joking about it, ang dami namin napipick up from you actually. So totoo lang, ang mga words of wisdom ang dami. So anyway, thank you. We learned a lot, no, from our session with you. And please, huwag ka mahiya if you need to promote the PBA 3 or anything, please feel free to come back and be with the Sportitos again.
Thank you.
More power to you. And for everyone out there, thank you for again watching, and sa mga televiewers, ikanga ni Farley, thank you for watching Laro-Laro lang. And at the same time, please, I will sisigundon ko sinabi ni Rosc, yung pandemyang to, please seryosohin niyo na. And always, guys, practice safe distancing, wear a mask, and just, para matapos itong pandemic ito na makauwi naman ako, mabisita ko kayo sa Pilipinas. And this is Gary from Canada signing off for today.
Yun. Sunod naman, si Coach Miron, Noy Africa.
Of course, first of all, we'd like to thank our guest, Rosc, Silent C for me.
Okay, Ouch.
Anyway,
Nice one, Ouch.
Anyway, my takeaway from her side of the story is, yun nga, as I've been saying, for most of the season, the 2 seasons we've had, parang the world of basketball, there are many ways to get into it. It's not just about playing in the PBA. I mean, you can go through different routes. You can do coaching, you can do commentary, you can do maybe do refereeing. For Rosc naman, being a woman, she went through corporate. I mean, there are a lot of ways to get into the world of basketball. It's just about finding the right opportunity and being able to grab it when it comes. So also her advocacy for women's basketball is, of course, for everyone in the world of basketball we would like to see women's basketball go to the next level. I mean, right now, I think the pinnacle of any woman basketball player is playing in college. After that, what comes next? It's that next step that we're all hoping to find for them, and that is the advocacy of our guests. So more power and good luck with that.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
And of course, I've been saying this for like the past year. Let's protect ourselves. That way, we protect our family and we protect others. Si Joel, ako, si Gary, si Farley, wag niyo na kaming seryosohin, okay lang. Si Miss Ross, seryosohin natin. At ang pandemic, please lang, seryosohin na natin at nang matapos na yan. Maraming salamat.
Yun. And of course, hindi magpapahuli si Mr. Pasabog Farley, Dom Romantico Aguila.
Thank you, Ross, for guesting. Tapos for your inspirational. Kasi silent si kay Och eh. Kay Och Noy. Sa akin naman matindi. Loud si. Sa kanya silent eh. Yun, maraming matututunan dun sa grabe yung mga career jumps mo, no? From karate to basketball, from 3x3 player to PBA operations, di ba? So, sabi mo nga, hindi mo alam kung saan ka dadalhin eh. But you're on the right path and maganda yung advocacy mo as what Coach Noy said. So, thank you very much for guesting sa online show namin and stay well always. Doon sa pandemic, please po, mag-ingat po and kahit na vaccinated na, consider nyo pa rin na mas dagdag ingat pa rin para matapos na ho lahat to. Magsimula na lahat, bumalik na lahat, hindi lang ho ang PBA pero yung mga dati pa nating activities. God bless.
Yun.
Thank you. Wow.
At ako naman si Chief Bisdak Joel Parcon. Once again, thank you so much, Ross, for joining us tonight. Sana na-inspire mo ang iba pang mga kababaihan, whether young girls thinking about getting into sports or even yung mga older na who are looking for a career in the sports industry. And just like what Gary said, if you have anything that you want to promote or anything that you want to say, about your advocacy, just give us a shout out, and just let us know. Your sportitos are here to help you. We're going to be behind you in your advocacy, so that we can help promote women's basketball na rin naman and women in the sports industry in general. Yun.
Oh, sure, I will. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yun. And now
Kumusta rin pala kay sorry, pakikumusta kay
Go.
Commissioner Willie.
Yan.
Makakarating.
Commissioner. Gusto rin kami. Hi, Commish.
Kahit
Can
hindi
I
mo
take a
kami kilala.
picture? Pwede ba ako mag-picture para mapakita ko sa kanya?
Sige.
W for Willie.
Ganun ba?
Yes.
Ganun.
Wait lang. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay,
Kahit hindi
alright.
kami kilala ni Commissioner.
Oo nga si Farley lang kilala. Anyway.
Makikilala niya rin kayo.
Oh, no.
Makakarating.
Yes, natin si Commissioner dito.
Now I will leave you with these words of wisdom ko, and I will
Yan,
paraphrase
hinihintay ko.
something that one of the sportswomen whose life was featured in one of the films on our Laro Tayo segment, si Billie Jean King, when she said, when they take surveys of successful women in business, 80% of them say that they were in sports as a young woman. Think about that. Huwag kayong sobrang seryoso. Laro-laro lang. Stay safe and good night.
Stay safe.